Titanic and Britannic were two of the most advanced ocean liners of their time, yet both suffered major bow damage during their final moments. When Titanic struck the iceberg on April 14, 1912, several of her forward compartments quickly flooded. This caused the bow to tilt downward, dragging the ship lower and lower. As the bow filled completely with water, the stern was forced higher out of the ocean, placing extreme stress on the middle of the ship. Eventually, that stress became too great, and Titanic broke apart between the third and fourth funnels. Once the bow separated, it plunged rapidly into the depths, falling almost vertically through the dark Atlantic until it hit the seabed with tremendous force, crushing parts of the decks downward but leaving the general structure intact. The stern, however, remained afloat for a short time before rising straight into the air. Then, at approximately 2:20 a.m., the broken stern of the Titanic finally slipped beneath the surface. With its disappearance, sadly more than 1,500 people were suddenly thrown into the freezing, frigid water, just 28 degrees Fahrenheit, or about -2 degrees Celsius. The shock of the cold was instant. Within minutes, voices filled the night, cries, shouting, desperate calls for help, and slowly, sadly over the next hour, those screams faded away as people died from hypothermia in the icy darkness. Only one lifeboat returned to search the area for survivors. By the time it arrived, sadly hours had passed, and almost everyone in the water had already died. Only a handful of people were still clinging to pieces of wreckage. Among the stories of survival that night, one of the most incredible belongs to the ship's chief baker, Charles Jugan. During the sinking, he made multiple trips down to his cabin to drink whiskey. Despite the chaos, he remained unusually calm. Before abandoning the ship, he threw chairs overboard so people would have something to cling to. As the final moments came, he rode the stern as it went under, almost like an elevator, stepping into the freezing sea without being pulled into the vortex. Thanks to the alcohol keeping his circulation high, he managed to tread water for nearly 2 hours, far longer than almost anyone else. He was eventually rescued by the returning lifeboat, becoming one of the last people saved from the icy ocean that sadly claimed so many lives that night. Britannic's bow tells a different kind of story. On November 21, 1916, she struck a German mine in the Aegean Sea. The explosion ripped open multiple forward compartments instantly, far more damage than Titanic faced. To make the situation even worse, Britannic continued moving forward at full speed after the explosion, forcing seawater through the torn bow at a rate no pumps could control. As the bow sank sharply, the stern stayed buoyant, bending the ship under enormous structural stress. When Britannic reached the seafloor, the bow slammed into the bottom with tremendous force. The impact crushed steel frames, buckled decks, and tore open sections of the ship, leaving the wreck's forward area severely damaged today. Even though their stories are different, the reason both bows ended up damaged comes down to the same engineering forces: extreme bending stress during sinking and the violent impact when the ships hit the ocean floor. Titanic's bow remained mostly intact, but was crushed by the seafloor. Britannic's bow was torn open by an explosion and then destroyed by its final impact. Two sister ships, two different tragedies, and sadly both remind us of the human cost, the limits of early 20th century shipbuilding, and the overwhelming power of the sea.